This computer. All right. Hi, guys. So tonight we are going to be hearing from Melissa, and she is just like the Kickstart queen. And if you don't know what the Kickstart Challenge Pack is, that's where you can take any challenge pack with Shakeology or whether it be Recover, or do they do it with their performance line? Is there performance line Kickstarts?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Actually.
But it may be, maybe with the All Access, it might have one, a performance line Kickstart. I'll have to check.
I'm going to look it up right now, but I don't think so.
Okay. But yeah, she is, and it's all about like go for no. So she's going to go over that and also a little bit about like her follow-up or invites or whatever. But it'll be good stuff. So, you want me to look it up and you start your stuff?
Yeah, I think the Kickstarter is only with the technology.
All right. Well, take it away.
Okay, so first things first is, I even just by seeing new coaches send me their conversations and things, I think people are so afraid of that price that they always talk it down. They're like, well, after they send the price, they're like, well, you could just do the free trial if you want, or you could just try the sampler. And they almost talk the person out of the sale. And so I just want to give you guys a little bit of confidence in going into that, what you're offering is literally life-changing. And for $160, it's a steal. I've said it once, I will say it 1,000 times. I would have paid 100 times the amount. And when I started, it was $205. And that was with one program that I couldn't even do. So, and I still would have paid 100 times that amount for everything that it's given me. So you need to build the value beforehand, because people, Afford and Alexis are going to get you to the same place, but people are going to pay triple the amount for the Lexus for the value. So you have to create the value of what we offer. So it's not just getting someone to comment on a challenge group post and then sending them a message and getting to the point where you tell them that it's $160 and cross your fingers that they say yes. And then from there, most coaches are so excited, they just get them started. So I'm going to take you, and I'm not going to go through the whole thing. I'm just going to go through it real quick. A lot of the questions that I ask and the steps that I take, because I don't get a lot of no's. If I actually get to the point where I'm sending someone a price point, I don't get a lot of no's. And then if I do get a no, I'll share with you what I do and how I go on with that. But so I ask a lot of questions. I tell people if you're getting a lot of objections, then that means that you're probably not answering enough questions or concerns that they have before you get to that point. So if someone likes or comments on a challenge group post of mine or a fitness post or whatever, of course, they're going to be my message for that day. And I've even started just once or twice a month, I will just write down a list of 100. I just write down 1 to 100. And then every day I send out, or a few times a week, I do it in bulk. You don't have to send out your invites every day if you're busy. I tell my coaches, just shoot for however many you're going to do a week. So if you're going to do 30 invites a week, then twice a week, you do 15. Like, cool. Don't care. Just make sure you're getting them out there every week. And if you're consistent with your social media posts and you're consistent in your inviting, it's going to be a lot easier for you. If you're inviting like crazy and you're not talking about these things on your social media, you're shooting yourself in the foot, because then when you invite people, they go to your page, they don't see anything about a challenge group, and now you're just creepy. And so they don't know what you're talking about when you talk about coaching. And then they're like, I don't see anything about coaching. Why does she want me to do it? Like, what? I don't want to be your guinea pig. So if you're not talking about coaching on a regular basis, if you're not talking about these challenge groups and how they change your life and how they change other people's lives on a regular basis, sprinkling it in throughout your life, they're not going to know what you're talking about. And they're going to go look at your page, and that's going to make them skeptical, and they're going to hesitate. So to have it on both sides. It's not enough to just invite people privately. You need to be talking about it on your social media. And it's not enough to just talk about it on your social media. You also have to be inviting. And when I say inviting, I don't mean sending a message and being like, so what interests you about a challenge group? I mean, you say to the person, Do you or anyone you know want to get healthy, lose some weight, or feel better about themselves? Do you actually ask for their business? Do you ask if they want to commit? That is an invite. I go through, and then, so when I do have interest, the forming looks a little differently for me if I have someone who has shown interest in something that I'm doing. Because I want to specifically find out things. The whole point of getting to that close point of eliminating those objections is to find their pain point. What is it in their life that they are unhappy with? What do they want to change? And what do you have that can help fix that, right? It's the whole point of everything that we do, all the conversations. We want to fix the problem, right? So you need to figure out what the problem is. Where's the hesitation? Where's the struggle? Whatever it is. So my family is like, how many people are in your house? How many people do you cook for? Who does the cooking? Do you have any picky eaters? How many times out do you guys eat a month, a week? Do you have a lot of evening activities, sports? And then, I usually ask, like, what's your family's favorite meal? If there's one meal that you guys would not want to give up that you have every Friday night as a family, what is it? Because later I'm going to talk to them about a healthy version of that. Like, how is a lifestyle for their entire family? So I asked that on family. Occupation. What do you do? Again, I want it to apply to what I'm doing. I always ask them, do you like what you do? Of course, because I'm thinking about coaching. But sorry, I had like crazy fucking heartburn today, and there was the first F-bomb. My bad. How many minutes did we get in there? Potty mouth. But I lost track. Where was I?
I can't remember.
Okay. Oh, forming, occupation. All right. So
yeah. Oh.
Back on track, focused. So then I asked them, all right, so what do you do for work? Do you sit at a desk all day? Are you active? Do you get breaks? Do you work midnight shifts? Do you work swing shifts? Do you have access to a fridge where you can pack lunch and snacks? And then recreation, I asked them, is there any kind of activity that you've ever done that you enjoyed? Is there any kind of exercise that you ever enjoyed doing? Did you ever take a class? Did you go to the gym? Like, were you an athlete? Like, is there anything that you enjoyed doing? Because I don't care who you are. If somebody absolutely despises burpees, they're not going to start out doing burpees every day. So there's enough variety in BOD. I want to kind of get a direction to go in. And then my message is pretty clear. And from that point, I'm like, well, I think that, this would be a really good fit for you, but I just want to ask you a few more questions to make sure. And I asked them, like, basically, I'm asking their permission. Can I ask you some questions? And they're like, yeah, sure. And I'm like, okay, great, thanks. So then I'm like, all right, so are you currently following any kind of plan? And then I asked them, so if you had to pick, which would you say you struggle with the most? The fitness side or the nutrition side? And then when they tell me, I ask them, okay, what is it about that you struggle with? Is it the preparation? Is it the time? Is it the motivation? Is it the knowledge, not knowing what to cook, not knowing what workouts to do, like intimidated by the gym, like travel, money? What is it that creates the struggle for you? Because you, as a coach, need to know this information. Like, you need to know. You want to help them get somewhere. It's not just about a success club point. It's about creating a success story. So these are things that you need to know anyway. So I'm asking them that. And then I'm like, do you have a goal that you would like to reach in the first month? And then I give them some examples of like non-weight goals, because I tend to attract people who are like, yeah, I want to lose like 75 pounds. I'm like, well, that's not going to happen in 30 days. So sorry. And when I started, like, what I would have told you in a month is 5 pounds isn't fucking 100. So, I really try to alter the mind thinking. So I'm like, what do you have a goal that you would like to achieve in the first month working together? Is there an outfit in your closet that you haven't felt comfortable in a while? Or, is there a dress size or an event that you're going to, or something non-scale related? All right. And I just throw out a goal. And usually it has something to do with clothes. It has something to do with, like, is there an outfit in your closet that you want to feel comfortable in or whatever? They tell me their goal. And then I'm like, okay, awesome. What would it mean to you if you could achieve that goal while gaining a better relationship with your health, having more energy, and just feeling better all around? And it's like, I feel like I need to use my inhaler like 800 times a day already, man. I like can't breathe, sucking out all my oxygen. And so then I asked them, like, what would that mean? And a lot of times people are like, everything. And then I'm like, okay, so here is what you're going to get. And then I give them a brief like run through. So I tell them you get access to all our workouts online. There is something for everyone. There's a kids channel. There's a cooking channel. There's prenatal. There's yoga. There's dancing. There's cardio. There's weights. You don't have to say all that. I just throw out a few. I always throw out the kids channel, the cooking show, and workouts for everyone. And I say that, you know, they're range from any level, beginner to advanced. I say you get access to that. You can stream them from any smart device or a lot of the devices that people have on their TVs now. You're also going to get a meal plan, a nutrition plan that teaches you how to eat. We're not going to count calories anymore. We're not going to go for low fat, low cal. We're going to teach you like the real foods to put into your body. We give you a list. You get to pick. So it's great for picky eaters. Like those picky kids that you have in your house. Now you don't have to make 2 dinners. It's not like you make your diet and then you make their food. You make everyone eats together. It's a meal plan the family can follow. And then you get Shakeology, which is really great because it's 1 meal a day that I don't have to worry about. I can make it in 60 seconds and drink it with 1 hand, which for a mom is bomb. And it tastes delicious. It's helped me with so much. And then I threw out a few things that Shakeology has done for me. That's it. I'm like, does that sound like something that could help you get to your goals? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, great. I know, right? And then I go through it again. Okay, so here's what you're going to get. You're going to get 12 months all access to our online library. We like to call it BOD, Beachbody On Demand. And then just quick, again, overview. And then you're going to get color-coded containers because we're going to work on portion control because that's where most Americans have issues. Where you're going to get the nutrition booklet that's going to list all of the foods for you that you get to pick and still pick your meals for you and your family. Like pizza night every Friday. Well, there's like off the top of my head, I can think of 3 different options for you guys for pizza. Or lasagna. Like there's a healthy lasagna that we can make for you guys or whatever it is. I throw that in there. You're going to get 30 meals of Shakeology. I don't call it a bag. I don't say 30 days. I say 30 meals of Shakeology, and that's going to replace a meal that you're already paying for. And earlier, if they told me that they eat out like 2 or 3 times a week, I'm adding right in there that replacing that 2 or 3 meals out for lunch a week with Shakeology is going to actually save you money. And I tell them they get a Shakeology shaker mug, which is great for meals on the go, for when you have to go to baseball and then to football. And this way you can surpass the concession stand, which you said you have dinner at twice a week, or something like that. I'm trying to pull, this is where I try to pull something from earlier into this piece. Something that I have from earlier, somehow that this plan will actually fit into their specific life. I try to throw something in there in that message. And then I tell them they'll get access to, they'll get a free t-shirt for every program they complete. They can submit their photos once a month to possibly win $500 or more. And they will get me as their coach who has been through it and is going to be here for them every step of the way. And they're going to get added to my private accountability group full of women doing the same thing that you're doing. You're going to get all of that for just $160. It is legit the deal of a lifetime and the best way to get started. And then I say, like, are you in? And when you put out all that stuff like that, and I even sometimes throw it in there, like it's cheaper than a year at Planet Fitness. And you're getting everything. You're getting fitness, nutrition, and support. Like I've built the value. And then if they tell me no for financial reasons, because I get a lot of stay-at-home moms. So if they tell me no for financial reasons, most people are like, oh, okay, well, there no, money's an issue. For me, I see that as an opportunity to ask them about coaching. I say, well, have you ever thought about, doing what I do and then, being able to help other women, getting your shakes paid for and possibly bringing a little income into home to your family. And so if nothing else, I've just planted a seed. I've added an extra possibility there instead of a negativity and just letting it go at a no. Because if there's, I learned a lot of things in my actual sales background. And one of them, because I did direct sales, one of them is objections are clues. Objections are not no's. Objections are not negative. Objections are literally clues on how to close someone. They are telling you the problem that you need to fix. Most of the time. Sometimes they don't actually come out and say what it is, and then it's usually a confidence issue or something that, they don't think that they can do it or something like that. So, but most times they're going to tell you what the issue is, and that's your go-to to try to fix that, to resolve that problem for them. So then when people say yes, then I'm like, okay, great. So I just have a couple more questions for you and we'll get you started. And this is where most coaches are like, yes, Success Club, right? And like you send them the link or you start to get them enrolled. And you haven't offered them everything at this point. So it's, it's only fair to you and to the other person as, being in their court, in their corner, to offer them all the tools that we have. So I'm like, all right, so I don't know if you've ever done a cleanse before, but right now you can get our 3-day cleanse added on for just $45. Normally it's $70. It's a 3-day cleanse where you're actually going to get to eat real solid food 4 times a day. You get a shake with every meal, and get real solid food 4 times a day. You get a shake with every meal, so there's no starving or juicing, and it's only 3 days. I've done the cleanse several times. I've loved it every single time. It's a great way to jumpstart into a new cleaning routine, new clean eating routine. It's great to save before an event. You said you have a wedding, you're going to Disney next month and you want to look great, so you could keep it before Disney. And it's not a weight loss cleanse, but you're probably going to lose like 3 to 8 pounds in the first 3 days. And you also said that you usually quit because you don't see results fast enough. And then I send my last few cleanses. I have 7 pictures that I send because I've done several cleanses before I was pregnant. So I send them pictures of my cleanses. And then they either tell me yes or no. I have yet to have anyone tell me that they didn't want anything because I asked them if they wanted a cleanse. Like, they don't go backwards. So there's no harm in asking. And here's the thing. A lot of people do quit because they don't see results quick enough. A lot of people do quit because starting a new healthy lifestyle is hard. And a cleanse helps with those things. So you offering that is really truly giving them all the tools that they need. And it's going to add more commission for you. It's going to add more volume in your downline. And it's a win for everyone. So all I'm saying is just ask. Then after that, I say, okay, so would you like to get started with the regular membership or the discount membership? And so for those of you who are newer in your business, there's actually a lot of people. I've heard a lot of top coaches say that they got to diamond mainly on discount coaches. And I'm not saying that you want to recruit discount coaches for the rest of your life, but discount coaches do not discount coaches. So I just ask them, you want to get started regular or discount? And of course they always ask, what's the discount? Like, okay, you save 25% on your Shakeology, your performance line, any equipment or anything else that you want after your initial purchase. So starting month 2, your shakes would be 25% off. And it's a great way, it's great if you plan on drinking them for longer than 30 days, basically. And then they'll be like, yes or no. And if they say yes, then I tell them, okay, well, first I ask if there any kind of military involved with that. And then I tell them that there's a $16 fee every month for the discount membership. Then I ask them what flavor of Shakeology they want to start with. I ask them their email and I get them started on the mobile enrollment app. But I would say that at least three out of five people that I sign up are kickstarts or discount coaches. And just a kickstart right now is $70 commission for one person. So, I mean, three of those a month. And now Success Club is covering your Shakeology plus your business fee plus $100 in your pocket just on that alone. So
and if you think about it, if you start teaching this and drilling this and really doing this yourself and teaching your downline to do this, think about how much your volume is going to grow from this one simple thing. Like, don't be lazy to not just say go for no. Okay, awesome. I'm so excited. Just last question. Do you want to add on a 3-day refresh? Because, and I personally say, I'm sorry for interrupting, but I personally say, you know, do you know how like when you first start seeing results and you get really excited and it kind of motivates you to keep going? That's how I feel about the 3-day refresh. So I kind of like people to do it first so they have that jump start. They're like, okay, I got this. And so many times people are like, oh my God, yeah, that's so true. I definitely should do that. So that's kind of a good way too, to just kind of like let them know like, hey, you know how like you see results and you're like, okay, I got this. So a lot of people that are just jumping into it, that's a good selling point for them too.
I even relate cleanses like you change the oil in your car several times a year. Like and I tell them like we take in toxins from everything, our hair product, our beauty product, that even our water needs filtered. Like we do not live in the world that we used to live in, and cleanses are something that should be done on a regular basis. Mm-hmm. I never did any before this because I was not interested in fasting or juicing or anything that didn't involve eating food. So, and I tell them that. But all, you know, it's most people just don't even ask. And that's the thing. Like you are ending the sale when they are saying yes. And that's the whole concept of go for no. Like who is ending the sale? You or the person you're talking to? Do you keep going until you get a no? Or do you just take a yes and walk with it when they were still on board?
Raise your hand if you have read Go for No on this call. Heather! Okay. I was going to say, Heather, you need to do it.
I have a question. So how much is the 3-day refresh?
With like by itself, the complete kit is $70. But to add on to the all access pass challenge pack, it is a total of $205. So it's $45 to add on.
Oh, that's not bad. Okay.
Yeah, so for $45, they're getting a 3-day cleanse. They're probably going to lose. And here's the thing, even if they don't get the cleanse right then, see, now that they have the all access pass, you're not coming back after them like a month or two later and asking them to sign up again with a different program or anything. And so you may never even mention the cleanse. And at this point, at least they know that it's another tool that they have down the road if they have a wedding or an event or they get off track. And they need to get brought back. So even if they're a no at this point, at least you're even offering them and they know that there's another tool out there for them to use.
Okay. See, Rach, I would have probably bought that. So you should have definitely tried to sell me on that.
See?
I'm serious.
and I get so many people that are like, well, if I'm doing this, I'm going all in, right?
Exactly.
Right.
So, I have not once tried to sell it. Not once. Isn't that terrible? Like it doesn't even cross my mind. That's
because
terrible.
You get a yes and you're like, yes, that's what I was.
That's exactly how I am. I'm like, okay, yes, I got a yes. Like it's terrible.
WWMD.
I would have definitely bought it for $45.
Well, Melissa did.
she would have had a kickstart. It's like
now that I have to pay $70, I don't know. I'm cheap.
Well, as a coach, it's cheaper for you, I think, and you don't need the Shakeology, so I think it's still like 40 something. So
yeah, it's
Melissa. If they tell me no, I tell them, especially if they're doing the discount membership, I'm like, well, you can get it anytime. So after if they already tell me no on the cleanse, I tell them, well, it's offered for you at any point. If you ever want to try it, just let me know. What's up, Heather?
Melissa, do you normally talk to people on the phone, or do you normally do all this via message or voice message? How do you do it?
This is all normally voice message. I really do phone more for coaching than challenge group signups. But I do try to do a lot of voice messages.
Yeah, I just started that, and I'm feeling that's like doing really well.
Yeah, a lot of emotion comes through in my voice. And, I think that they, it's good for them to hear that. I think it's good for new coaches to do that. And then, you're just being yourself. It's more like a conversation, you're less scripted. I will share the script with those questions that I went over, but I like to say script as in script, because I do not want you just copying and pasting that. Every conversation should be different with people. And that's where the voice message is nice. Cause and you could set up a phone call for that, but with coaches, I'll go through that process real quick with the phone. Actually, I just re-listened to GoPro the other day, and he goes over it there. Like, before you send the video, so he's big on like that it's not your job to go through the whole business presentation, because then new people will think that they have to know everything about the business. So, you ask them if they've ever thought about doing what you do, whatever, give them a compliment. And then if I was you, if I sent you an 8-minute video, would you watch it and then get on the phone? And they're like, yeah. And so then I'm like, okay, well, so it's only 8 minutes, and then maybe there's a longer one. Do you think you can watch it by tomorrow? And they're like, yes or no. And then we actually set up a time. Okay, so when do you think you can watch it by? Not like, when can you watch it by, but just casually in conversation. And then we plan a time to get on the phone. Once I get their phone number, then I send the video. And then you get on the phone when you say you're going to get on the phone. And then when you're on the phone, you go through the 6-question close of Eric Worre, which is in the files of this group as well. And I think that that's really helpful. And try to keep, the hardest part for me about that is trying to keep the phone calls to under 30 minutes, because I'm a talker. So,
yeah, that was it. And like, it's so simple, but like, we overcomplicate this process so much. It's so simple. And like, I can't tell you like how easy it is now with the voice messaging. Just like, literally, like, I'll walk to the bathroom, and I always take my phone to the bathroom when I'm at work, and I'm doing voice messages down the hall. And you know what else? People hear me talking about it, and I have people, asking me about it. I have 2 coworkers that have already purchased Shakeology. I've been handing out samples all the time, because why not? And don't feel free to like voice text when you're around other people, and you're encouraging people. What is that going to do? That's going to be like, wow, that person sounds awesome. Like, you know what I mean? So like, I don't try to like hide in a room or anything when I'm voice texting, because I'm being genuine, 1, and 2, like it's just cool to think about how you never could have maybe crossed paths with this person and helping them. So just, when you're out anywhere, talk to more people. This is one thing from real estate that's really helped me for Beachbody, is I am now talking to everybody wherever I am. And people genuinely want to be talked to. People don't like silence. So just get out of your comfort zone, talk to people everywhere. You're wearing my BJs again. Where are they from? I like them.
Target.
RJ.
Yeah.
My headboard is Wayfair, Heather. Did you say we have the same one? I couldn't remember what Heather said that. Okay,
I got mine from Amazon.
A couple suggestions on here when you get price objections, because I'm seeing some of those in the chat.
Yeah.
So I again, anytime I get an objection, my first response is ask more questions. Don't try to just combat whatever it is. Ask more questions, get to the root, more of the objection, or see if you can relate it. So if somebody says something to me about the price, I'm like, I know, I thought the same thing. So how many times do you eat out a week or a month? And then I ask them, or I just come out and say like, all right, so if you were trying to get a healthy meal out, how much would you say that was going to cost you? Fastest, healthiest meal you can get, whatever, right? They're going to say anywhere between $5 and $10. And I'm going to tell them that they can get this for under $4 a meal. It's saved me countless drive-throughs. I don't have to take daily vitamins. I don't have nearly as many doctor's appointments. I'm not sick. I don't have to use my sick days. Obviously I'm home, but I mean, things like that. So you need to, create the value in Shakeology beyond just 130, because people don't go to the grocery store and buy 30 meals at a time. And so the price is always a sticker shock. Always make sure you break it down. Shakeology comes out to about $4 a meal. That's cheaper than Starbucks or a Happy Meal. And it's a hell of a lot better for you, because people will drop $25 to go through McDonald's drive-through and not think about it. But yet that's however many meals for Shakeology. Yeah, Rach.
Okay. So when you get somebody who says that they want the workouts without Shakeology, do you, I don't want to say push it on them, but is that a requirement? Like, how do you guys feel about that? Because I was talking to Heather today, and to me, like, it's hard for you to see the value in Shakeology until you're on it, but I at least encourage my challengers to sign up for it for the first month. And then after that, if you decide you don't want it, then that's fine. But do you let people in your challenge groups who don't want Shakeology? How do you do that?
Personally, I always suggest it. First of all, I tell them, okay, and I ask them why they're against Shakeology, first of all. Like, why are they hesitant to try it with the bottom of the bag money back guarantee or whatever it is? I tell them that I was against Shakeology at first. I told my sister I don't drink my food. So if you had any objections to Shakeology, make sure you come forward with those too, and let them know that you were also hesitant about it. But then I do let people in my challenge group who either have a workout program at home. My biggest thing is they have to have a workout. They have to have either one of the two. I do have one woman who is like 73. She goes to the gym, but she drinks her Shakeology every single day. So she's got Shakeology. She's in my group for accountability. Because here's the thing. Everyone's posting that they're drinking their Shakeology every day. I talk about it. I share recipes. Everyone else talks about it. And so even if they get into my challenge group with just the workouts, they're going to get curiosity about the Shakeology. And now every month in my challenge group, I'm going to talk about Clean Week for inviting your friends and for the 7-day Shakeology sampler. And so that would be, now that that's available, that's probably going to be my go-to if they really don't want to try Shakeology for a month. I'm going to ask them if they want to do the 7-day. But I personally let them in my group without having to have a challenge back, just because I know that they're going to see it. It's going to create the curiosity, and I really don't want to turn people away who still want to do the fitness.
Yeah, I would just make sure they get switched to you as a coach.
Yeah.
I don't know if you said that. Sorry. Okay, can we do a screenshot really quick? If you guys want any other questions, I'm gonna